We connect with them in ways where I have the audacity to say that I've never knew love or what love was until I met Kate.
Welcome to another episode of More Than an Inmate's Girlfriend. I'm your host, Jay, and today is a very exciting episode. I'm very excited to introduce the guests that we have today. Most of you that are prison wives, I'm sure, have seen different reality TV shows and watched different guests go on them. And for me personally, the first show that I had watched when I first started talking to Nick was Prison Brides. And I loved it because I found that it was a little bit more realistic than Love During Lockup and Love After Lockup. And there was a few people that were on the show that I really loved, and I connected more with some of them than others, which is normal. And one of the couples that was on the show, I really felt like I didn't get enough information about them. I really wanted to know more about them, and I didn't really feel like I knew. I knew that he had a long sentence, but I didn't know why. And I really didn't think that the show really went into it. So I went on a deep dive last year trying to find out more information. And I found a little bit more. But with the podcast starting, we reached out to this person. And they have accepted to come on here and talk a little bit more about it. So I'm really excited. And I think a lot of people would be really curious to learn more about Andrea and Cage. So Andrea, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And it's so exciting to finally share more.
I'm so excited to hear more about this. So for those people that didn't watch Prison Brides, can you talk about how you guys first met? What happened? How'd you cross paths with Cage?
Oh, yeah. Around 2020, I just downloaded TikTok. I didn't have the app on my phone. And it was around the time when we were all having to stay home and we couldn't leave the house. It was all fresh. So at the time, I was working on myself. I was closer to God, I would say, because I did lose my faith. Over the past 10 years, I was at an age where I grew up in a very religious family. Somehow I ended up pulling myself away. So I was just finding myself. I was being very aware. I was just getting to know myself overall.
Like exploring.
Exploring.
Yeah.
I was single for a while. I wasn't trying to be in a relationship. I was focusing on my career and just being myself, wanting to travel, save money, to do more things.
Crazy.
So I just got TikTok and I was bored. So I just decided to just scroll. It was very boring. I had to stay home. I was forced to stay at home. And around end of May, I came across this girl that popped on my For You page, and it was an American girl. I forgot her name. And she had the background of the website Write a Prisoner, and she was talking how she is pen pals with someone, and I really wasn't listening to her. I just saw the website, and honest to you, I didn't even know the definition of a pen pal. I'm like, I've never heard of what is this.
Right.
Like, I was intrigued. I was curious.
Yeah.
I'm by nature a very curious person. And obviously you can read Write a Prisoner, so obviously I can understand that, but I'm like, I've never seen such thing. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I just went on the website and I clicked on it and I started scrolling and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? But I saw like it said something like, this is not a dating website or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling and I came across Cage's profile, and I did go through a few profiles and I could read a little about themselves. I came across Cage, and not only the picture of him, I'm like, wow, he's handsome. Not only that, I really loved what he wrote about him, and he was saying how he grew up by the beach, and I love the beach. Like, I want to die by the beach. And and he was saying how he is passionate about traveling and how he loves to read books and what type of music he likes to listen. I don't know. I was very drawn to him for some reason. I just felt I want to know more about him.
Yeah.
And obviously you can see the crime he committed, the time he's in prison, how long he's going to be in there for. And I saw that, and I saw why he's in prison, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Any other person I would tell about this, they'll be like, he must have committed murder, or
100%.
he must have done something terrible in order for him to receive 50 years.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know more about his story. Obviously, the main thing, it wasn't just me writing him like, hey, like, I want to know why. No, that came naturally. I wrote him a pretty large letter, to be honest, and that was the first letter ever I wrote to someone.
So it was like handwritten? You hand wrote him a letter?
No, so I had to create a JPEG.
Okay.
The website instructed me what I need to do. I had to create a profile.
Were you nervous? I remember I was freaking out when I did.
No, honestly, no. This is something that even now, it felt so natural. I never even for a moment thought, oh, I'm worrying that this person's going to have my address or he's an
Me
inmate.
too.
I didn't know.
I didn't feel that way
very
either.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Being a part of this community now, you hear a lot of women talking how it was the first time when they went to prison. Then Cage's mom, she said when she first went to visit him, she felt like the way they were patting her down and things like that. I don't know what it was. Now, if I'm thinking ever going to prison, visiting someone else, I would probably feel different, to be honest with you. But with him, I've never had that feeling.
Really? That's interesting.
So I wrote him. Yeah, I wrote him and I didn't receive an answer. I thought because of the mail being longer, I said, okay, maybe I thought that they're going to take a while for them to approve my account or whatever reason. And then I ended up finding out that he didn't receive my address. So when I created the account, I put my address down on JPay. However, he couldn't see it because at the time they didn't have tablets back in 2020. So Texas didn't have tablets. So what they would do is I would send the email and they would print it out. But obviously I didn't know back then. So I tried to find that girl back on TikTok and I said, hey, like I broke someone, and then she said, what state is he in? If he's in this state, he doesn't have a tablet. So you would have to insert the address in. So then I took a paper and I wrote it down letter by letter, the same letter.
I love it.
And I went to the post office with my mother. Actually, she came with me and I said, I'm going to make sure he receives it.
So your mom knew that you were doing this from the beginning?
Yeah, she knew from the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I wrote him and he was the first man ever that I reached out to. Like ever. Yeah. And it wasn't like I was interested as in to start anything, but it's just me talking to men. I'm usually approached by and so time started passing by. Now in the meantime, afterwards, I found out that he was asking his mother to look out for me because he didn't have my address. And he had his friends, his mom, his dad look out for me on social media with my first and last name. Social media, I didn't even have my last name. I had a different name.
Yeah.
So they couldn't. And a lot of Cage's friends at the time, they said, oh, she's catfishing you because I sent some pictures of myself. And they're like, she's not even real. She's catfishing you, whatever. So after I heard back from him in July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it took a month.
Yeah.
Well, I already told you he got my letter the very next day, but it took a while for me to decide. 2 weeks after that, I wrote him a real letter and all that one. So it took a while. So I woke up one day and my mom tells me, oh, you received a letter from that boy? And I'm like, did I? My whole mood changed. I was really curious to see what he's going to say. I really wanted to hear back from him. But at the same time, I was waiting. I'm like, what is it taking so long? Even those 2 weeks prior, me knowing that he doesn't have my address to write me back, I'm like, the audacity this boy has. Fine, you don't want to talk to me?
So when I messaged Nick, he didn't answer me the first day. And I was like, afterwards, he answered me the next day. But like, I didn't even think it was a possibility. And he laughs at me. I'm like, I didn't think that anybody would not get a response. I thought that everybody would just answer anyone who reaches out to you. But no, that's obviously not the case. But I was so naive.
Yeah.
It's dating. Some people are going to answer you, some people aren't. But I thought I did something wrong. But no, he just didn't answer me for 24 hours. I'm like, thanks.
I know. I was like, what is going on? You know what? I was just trying to be nice, this and that. And you're just trying. Okay, fine. I don't care. But when I heard that he sent me a letter, my whole day changed. I don't know, for some reason, I was really waiting for him to get back at me. Which is embarrassing because I'm like, I get approached by guys. I don't do the other.
Yeah. And that's not even what you're looking for. We weren't even looking for that. So why are you feeling like that? I feel the same way. It was the same thing with me. It wasn't what I was looking for at all. But yet here I was getting excited when I'd see a message from him or whatever. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And for us, it was different because I only could hear back from him with letters. I'm like, okay. So then I received that letter and he was telling me about his siblings and how he grew up, a little bit more about himself. And I just wanted to hear more from from him. And from then, we could have phone calls and we could talk. And we hit it off. We were talking nonstop as much as we could. I was falling for that boy without even realizing I was falling for him. But in my mind, I knew that we cannot have anything. I knew that there cannot be any type of relationship between us because I was aware of the situation.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Did you look up his charge further, or did you just see what was on Write a Prisoner? You did?
Yeah, so on Write a Prisoner, you cannot really see much. You see, in Cage's case, it's aggravated robbery.
Okay.
That's all you can see. For him, at least, that's how it was at the time. Obviously, I searched his name on Google, and I saw all the files.
Yeah.
I saw the court documents. I saw all the articles that were at the time, how the judge called him a monster, things that he wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my research overall.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't know a lot of extra information that afterwards I found out from his family, from himself. But we didn't really talk about his case from the very beginning.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
We were getting to know each other. We were just enjoying each day. And I didn't really want to ask him up until I wanted to know. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to feel comfortable to do that. I wanted him to be happy. I didn't want to be the person like, hey, tell me about this and that. I didn't want to play like the police officer.
Investigate.
No, I wanted him to be comfortable. And now sometimes it's hard for him to talk about it. And it's heartbreaking because he wasn't that close to all of them. He was close to one person. So, yeah, we were just talking. We were just enjoying each other's presence. I was sending him a lot of pictures of literally everything. Like I have in my phone, I'm not even exaggerating, like over 60,000 pictures at the moment. Yeah, I would take pictures of trees or of London, of traveling to different countries. I was taking him with me every single place I went to. Whatever my eyes saw, he saw too, even though it was through a picture.
What was it about him that was different for you? Like, obviously there was something that attracted you to him versus the other guys that you've met out here.
So I really loved the way he saw life. First of all, I have always been a very positive, optimistic person. And in my life, I love to be surrounded by such people, but most of the time find myself in the situation where people around me are not so positive, and I am always the friend that's going to pick you up. I'm always that friend that's never sad or upset, or I'm always going to lift you up. I'm going to make you see the good things in life, and I'm going to make you happy, or at least try my hardest. And for me, when I saw that in him, and he was so effortless, like the way he was just positive, and I'm like, wow, he is where he's at. He is in a cell, in a small, tiny cell. He's having not a very good life in there. And he is positive. He's not doing any drugs. He's not, he was with me 24/7. So as much as people say, hey, you cannot know a person, when you're with a person 24/7 and you talk to them all the time and you get to see them, trust me, there's only so much some people can hide. He was always coherent. He's so intelligent. His brain, I got attracted to his brain and his personality. He's hard. He's way better than I am. And he's in prison and I'm here. Honestly, I'm a bitch in comparison to him, honestly.
It's the same thing with me. Like, Nick is so positive, and I feel like same thing with Kate, they were given really bad deals in life, you know? And yet despite all that, here we are complaining about like regular day-to-day, the snow, the weather, and here they are stuck and they're smiling and they're laughing and they're making you happy. It's crazy. It's really something, and I think not everybody in prison is like that, but I find the ones that are growing.
And that's what I want to emphasize on, because talking to them and being with them, you get to hear a lot about prison. And then you see that there's 80% of the people there, maybe even 90, they are addicts. I'm not going to blame because maybe I would be in the same situation. Not everybody can be as strong, but I have such admiration for the people that are dealing with sad fates like they are, and they still wake up and they still better themselves each day, and they still take, I'm not going to say the hard path.
But it is.
It's harder. Yeah.
Nick wasn't doing the right things. He wasn't doing drugs, but he was not doing great things in there. And it's just recently that he grew up and was like, hey, I don't want to do this. But he's like, I fight it every day because it's all around me. And every day I have to remind myself what I want out of my life and who I want to be, what kind of person I want to be. You're fighting because you're in this situation, and rehabilitation in the American justice system is not really prevalent.
It's not really rehabilitation.
Yeah, they have to do it themselves, so it's even harder.
Yeah, they don't get help. And it's so sad because I was just reading the other day about Texas inmates. I don't know about other states. A lot of the inmates have mental problems.
Yes.
And they are sent to prison instead of sending them to mental facilities where they could actually get help.
Yeah. They don't even assess them when they come in. It doesn't make any sense.
I know this. Cage's brother was incarcerated. They both got incarcerated at the same time. Cage's brother is his co-defendant.
Oh.
I don't know if a lot of places know this, so this is information coming right from me. I probably have spoke about it in the past. And he's autistic. They never gave him medicine for it.
Yeah.
He has also a very rare disease, has to do with a blood clot. They also never gave him medication for that. He was in prison for 10 years, and he's one of the main reasons Cage got in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Cage didn't want to leave his brother alone because he was autistic. Even though his brother is older than him, he was always trying to be protective, and he ended up in a big mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all this going on, so you said your mom knew about it. Did everybody else in your family know? Like, how did they feel about it?
So the night that I wrote him, I right away texted my best friend, and I was like, hey, guess what? I just wrote someone that's in prison, and I can't wait to hear back from him. And she's, are you out of your mind? What's wrong with you? I'm like, hey, don't be mean. She's like, you don't even know him. But I was very defensive. Don't speak bad. I'm not going to let you talk bad about him. And mind you, this is my best friend.
Yep. I did the same thing.
And I didn't even speak to him or hear back from him. Like, he could have been an asshole. He wasn't. And look, I've always had a soft spot for him because he was a child.
Yeah.
As much as they trying to paint him as a criminal, and yes, he did very wrong things, he was still very young. The brain wasn't developed, and I felt terrible for him. And we've all done bad things in our past, but we evolve, we grow, and I'm not saying everybody does evolve, but in his situation, I see that in him. I don't know the old Cage. I can't vouch for the old Cage. I just know the one that he is today, and I'm proud of him.
Yeah. I understand completely. It's true. We all make mistakes, and we all have that opportunity that maybe we could have done something that could have gotten us. I was talking to my mother about it a couple of days ago, and she was like, I've done things that could have gotten me down a bad path, that it just didn't happen. I didn't get caught or whatever. And maybe it's not to the extent of these men, but regardless, we've all done stuff as young adults that we regret.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
And then to be given these sentences that are basically life. Nick's given life, but 50 years is a very long time for someone who, how old was he, 16?
It's technically life,
Exactly. It makes no sense. But so what did your best friend say when you were being defensive over him?
She said I'm out of my mind. I'm crazy, but I'm crazy anyway, so it's not like something unexpected.
Yeah.
But she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, I'm not even going to speak to you about it. I'm just telling you what I did. Okay?
Not looking for opinions.
Yeah. And then I also told one of my friends, he also had the same reaction. We used to go to school together, and he was like, Andrea, you're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. And my mom knew because I told her. I don't remember if I told her the very same day I wrote him, probably the next or whatever. And then obviously she knew because she came with me at the post, and I was telling her, she didn't think nothing bad about it. She recently now, she was saying how she thought I'm doing a good deed because she saw that I was taking pictures when we started talking. She got to speak on the phone with him, and she could tell he was a good influence. He had a positive influence in my life. I was partying a lot before the lockdown came, and I told you I didn't want anything serious or whatever. And my families are the type where they're very not conservative, but in a way they don't smoke, they don't drink. So I'm more like the black sheep of the family, or I was, or maybe I still am because I'm dating someone in prison. I'm married to someone in prison.
But he obviously had a good influence on you. So
yes, he he really did. And I got so much closer to God since I met Cage. And that's another thing that I loved about him. He studied theology, and he had such love for his grandmother that passed away. And it was the same with me. I was raised by my grandmother, and she was the love of my life. And we connected with that. We had a connection because he was the youngest. I was the oldest, the first in my family, the first niece. He was the youngest, but he always loved his grandma more than anything. So, yeah, we had certain things that we had in common, and we connected, and like we just clicked instantly. We just clicked,
And this is obviously very far away. He's very international to you. Is it the first time you've ever dated someone? Long distance relationship?
No. So my first ever serious relationship with my ex, we were together for 5 years, and he was my first everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He lived in Romania, so I did not grow up in Romania, but when my grandmother passed away in 2014, I met him then when I was there. So I was obviously still in school and college and all that. So we started dating, and we would do long distance. I would go on holidays to Romania. He would come over here to London. Yeah.
I've done it before as well, and I found this time, for some reason, it's way easier. And I don't know why, but for some reason, it just feels, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people say that long distance is really hard, and I found it very hard in my previous relationship. But in this relationship, I don't know why, and I haven't figured that out yet, but I found it so much easier, maybe because I know that it's not possible to see him, or I don't know.
I'm thinking that maybe it's the subconscious that is telling us we don't have to worry where they're at. First of all, we know, obviously, we do worry about what's going on, about their safety. That's a daily thing.
Yes.
Goes without saying. It's just very different because the relationships we have with these men, it's all based on emotional connection. We connect with them in ways where I have the audacity to say that I've never knew love or what love was until I met Cage.
Same.
And mind you, we didn't get to spend time together physically, being intimate with each other. It just flows. Like, we have such chemistry. It's just unbelievable to this day to me, the way I can love this man without even being physical. And I know we haven't done that. And I know a lot of relationships don't work when they come home, but it's a risk I'm willing to take because I'm happy.
Same.
I'm genuinely happy. He makes me happy. And I'm the friend that is always going to tell you, do what makes you happy. Do what you feel is right for you.
Yes.
And just follow your heart. Just whatever you want to do, just do it.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, same thing. My relationship is now, not planning for the future. Yes, I would love for him to win an appeal, or for them to change the laws or whatever. And I really do hope that, and we work on that. But at the end of the day, my relationship today, tomorrow, yesterday, I feel fulfilled. I feel good. I feel happy. He makes me happy in the moment. So we don't even know what's going to happen in the future. But regardless, I'm happy now. So even if it ends later, I'm not holding out hope and sad and waiting for my relationship to start. It's already started. And it's true. It's what you wanted to do. It's what made you happy. Hopefully things change in the future where we're gonna have them home. And there's people out there that you see judge us for being in this relationship, but there's a lot of people that are in marriages that are very unhappy 100%.
Or that don't even get to spend much time with their spouses. And I don't want to say it, but it's true. Like, we get to spend more time and we are more connected to these men that are actually locked up than others in the free world do.
Yeah. I feel like I know him. I've been closer than him emotionally and mentally than I've ever been in any relationship before. He knows me better than every single person. And I've lived with people. Like, I've had relationships where I've lived with the men and they don't know me as well as he does. And funny story, someone that's related to me was telling me how he had just gotten divorced after 25 years of marriage. And he was at his son's hockey game, and his ex-wife now had said, "Hey, I'm going to get a coffee. Do you want one?" And he said, "Yeah." And then she said, "What do you take in it?" And he's like, "We were married 25 years. You don't know what I take in my coffee?" Like, it's perspective.
Yeah.
You could be married and not know. Yeah, not know that person at all. So because it's so far away, you probably don't get to see him that much. How do you make that work in terms of actually seeing him?
So I obviously work, and at the moment I am studying for my master's, which is a lot of work that I'm doing. So I try to go see him every few months, and I just went to see him in January, and I'm planning to go for his birthday, which is in April, hopefully. But prison, always things are happening in there, lockdown. For lockdowns, we still get visits, but there's always something that could happen.
Has it ever happened that you've gone there and then weren't able to see him? Because it's such a flight. And
thank God, no.
Oh, lucky.
No, I've never had such experience.
Me neither.
It would be heartbreaking, and I know it happens. A lot of ladies that I see, they travel for many hours by car. They get there and they just get their visit canceled. So I've never had that happen to me. Thank God.
And I'm most curious because this is something that I haven't experienced, but I think you have. In Texas, you can't touch them until you're married. Is that correct?
Yes, that's very correct. In February 2023 was the first time I got to see him in person. I would always ask for my visit a month prior.
Okay.
So as soon as we had a visit, next month I'm planning to go see him again. I have to email the warden because I don't have access to the website. And since it's a special visit, I have to get in touch with the warden in order to get it approved and all that. So the warden already has seen that I was visiting him. It was all behind glass. I visited him like 10 times behind glass. Half of those visits, we would only get 2 hours each day. It would fly by. And he saw that we had no trouble. We were just normal, minding our business. And I asked the warden, I said to him, like, hey, we're planning to get married. We've been planning for a while. I don't know when it's going to happen, but is it possible for us to have a contact visit since I'm coming from so far away? And I got lucky, and he said yes. So the next 2 visits were in person.
What was that like?
It was one of the best days of my life. Imagine the first time I saw him and I just wanted to grab him and kiss him, and he was through a glass, so we were just touching the glass, touching each other. And when it was in person, it was like it was happening all over again. But this time I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna touch him. Like actually, it didn't really hit me up until that day, and I was getting like, oh my God. But obviously we had some trouble. They wouldn't let me go in dressed the way I was dressed. And they didn't want to give us those visits. And on the weekends, usually the wardens are not there. And we got in, so I got all happy because I'm always so happy. It's a good day. I'm visiting my men, so I'm not going to let anybody
bring you down
with my mood. That's it, period. And I get in there all happy. They said about my outfit. Okay, so I said, you know what? I got some leggings in the car. I'm just going to put them under my dress, and that's it. Cool. Okay, we got past that. I get in the visitation room, and they tell me, oh, no, you don't have a contact visit. I'm like, I'm telling you I have a contact visit. You don't have to tell me. I know what I have. Hello? And there was the CEO. He's, oh, no, ma'am, he was not approved by whatever, because he has to ask. And I'm like, I don't care who you're saying he was not approved by. He was approved by the warden. The warden confirmed it with me. So you might as well go ahead and call the warden and ask him. But the warden is not here. Yeah, the warden is not here. And I'm like, I don't care. Just get in touch with him. And I said, listen, I don't want to speak to you. No disrespect. Can you call somebody that higher up? And because imagine if I was a type, like I was like an anxious person, someone that would get intimidated. My own rights, I wouldn't be able to get a contract because I would listen to the CO because apparently he works there. And they called down the sergeant. And I'm like, look, this is what happened. I spoke to the warden. The warden said yes. Do you have the email? And I said, yes, ma'am, I do have the email, in fact. She's like, can you please go? And I said, I don't have my phone on me. I was trying to be as smart as well. She's like, obviously. And I'm like, should I bring it back in so I can show you? She's no, you can just forward it.
Okay.
So go back to the car. It was hot outside. This was June 2023. And it was so warm. And I'm like, my makeup, my hair. Oh my God, I'm running, doing like cardio. So run back outside, go in the car, forward the email, and then run back, go through security again.
Oh my gosh.
All that. And I come back and she's like, yes, ma'am, you're right. You have your contact today and tomorrow. And I'm like, thank you, I know. And the CEO was the one bringing him in. And I'm like, looking at him like, what did you say? You said no?
Right?
Yeah. Who
won? Who won this time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm so sad. bad because some people, they get so anxious and they just don't want to upset them. But when it's your right, like, don't let them intimidate you. I'm not saying to be disrespectful in any way. What's yours? And if the warden says yes, like, that should say it all.
Yeah, for sure. I'm one of those people that really gets nervous going in there because obviously it's my first time, and they've been respectful so far. Like, obviously behind the scenes they hate me and whatever, but the actual COs that are there haven't ever been disrespectful. But I can't imagine, and I've had some times where inside some of the people that work there, not COs, have been really rude and disrespectful for no reason.
We had a mix like that. We've had a little bit of both. We had some people that were super nice and some other people that were hateful towards. There was this specific person. I got all those types of questions like from the beginning, before even entering the gate. The people that were outside, they would ask, hey, if you don't mind me asking you, like, why do you come all this way for him? And I'm like, because I love him. Yeah. And like, I would answer back. Then if they would ask him on the other side, oh, like, who are you? Why are they coming to see you from so far? She's from this country and she's coming to see you. Like, very disrespectful. Yeah. There was this other man at one time that was trying to cut our visits off like by half an hour, every single time. And for us, imagine, it's all we got. We don't get to do that every weekend. Why are you taking it out on us? And you go to the guy that's next to Cage and you're like, hey, buddy, how's your visit going?
Wow.
Like, why? Yeah. Why in our faces? It's not like that's just a moody person. We can clearly see that you dislike us for a reason.
So unnecessary.
And yeah, it's so unnecessary because both me and him, we just care about each other. We don't care about what's going on around the visitation room. Yeah. Sometimes if I'm waiting for him, I don't really look around, but I might be over here. But it's certain things that now I have learned. Like, I don't really look at people. Cage has explained to me it's disrespectful, this and that. So, like, some prison rules that obviously I wasn't aware.
Same.
For example, I had a bottle of water that I was drinking and the cap of the bottle fell and I bent over, but I'm not even trying to be sexy for him. I literally just bent over and he's like, don't do that. You're gonna get me in trouble because there might be weird people that would be doing weird things, and there's a lot of people that I know that got in trouble for protecting their loved ones. Not that they would do anything to me, but they would do, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Other things. And so yeah, he's super, super protective, but obviously now I'm like a OG, like I know and all that.
You've been there a minute, but it is a huge learning curve. I agree. It's a huge learning curve. Things that you don't think about that are real in there.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about how, and you talked on the show too, about how you travel, quote unquote, with him, and you go travel and you take lots of pictures and send it to him, and that's how you guys connect. What else do you do, or what can you recommend people who are overseas from their loved ones that are incarcerated to keep that relationship going?
Yeah, we haven't been reading much lately. We both love to read, and we would read the same books. For example, I love to read self-developing books, but Cage does not believe in that specifically, to be honest. So we would read like romance. I even got him to read self-developing books, but he believes in his own philosophy. He's like, why should someone tell me to do this? I know all these things by myself. But I love that. I love reading self-developing books. So I got him reading romance with me.
That's awesome.
Watching romance movies. Yeah.
I have the opposite problem. Nick loves self-development, and he buys me all these books and sends them to me, and then I have to read all these self-development books.
Yeah, I find it interesting. There's one specific book that really changed my life and my perspective on life. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and that really changed my perspective on a lot of things. I read that way before I met Cage, but that had a good impact. We read The Alchemist together. We read various books. We would watch movies together. The first movie we've ever watched was A Star Was Born. With
cute.
Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And he was crying and he was trying to hide it, and I'm like, hey, did you get emotional? He's like, no, I don't do that.
I love it.
I said, yes, you did.
And it was like you're on the phone?
Yeah, we were on the phone, but I could hear. I'm like, I can hear it. We would also read books sometimes, and he would send instructions on the letters at what time to read which chapter, so we would do that. Yeah, he's very thoughtful in that way. He was being transferred, I believe, or something like that in 2021 or 2022. And he wrote his mom pages with instructions on what to tell me randomly at 3 p.m. my time. For example, he would be like, hey, mom, like at 3 p.m., you message her this specific message.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, we try to, like I said, we try to grow every time. Right now, we are both studying. He used to help me study. I even had to do some sort of presentation, but it was like a recording, and I had to record a businessman. So obviously, I chose my husband as the businessman, but the people from the university didn't know.
Oh, I love it. That's hilarious.
Yes. So, yeah, we find ways to work with what we have, and it's not a lot, but yeah,
it's enough.
The little that we have.
Yeah. So, Prison Brides. I don't know how much you can share, but there's a lot of people that you see online that are thinking about going on a show or they don't know. Can you just give a little bit of your experiences and if you recommend or what you wish you would have known before going on it?
Okay, what I wish I would have known is no matter how much research you do, there's always going to be advantages and disadvantages. Advantages for us were that we got to meet a lot of wonderful people. Disadvantages where, I don't know if I want to call them disadvantages, but so for me, I'm a strong person. I don't care what people think. I respect everybody's opinion, and I don't expect everybody just to be on like, oh, wow, yeah, she's married to an inmate. Wow, I'm clapping my hands for her. Well done. No, I get it. I get everybody else's point of view, but it doesn't affect me. Even if I get some ugly messages, I don't let it bother me. Now, there's people that struggle with mental health, and obviously I would recommend to make sure that you're prepared mentally to receive a lot of backlash.
Right.
A lot of things that happened. I was very genuine when it comes to TV productions and TV and all that. I didn't know. I was very genuine, and I believed everything I was told, and I was being told. And I wish they would have shared more of Cage's case. Is the reason why I went on there in the first place. They will tell you what you want to hear, and at the end of the day, you have to remember that it's all a business for them. For you, you're trying to do it for your loved one. Who knows? Maybe some people do it for the money. I don't know. In our case, I did it purely because I was not a social media girl. I didn't have, and I still don't have a big following, but I never shared our relationship online because I was a very private person, and I took this opportunity as a sign. Like I said, I'm religious, and I believe in signs, and I believe in God, and I said, maybe this is a good chance for us to get some help, get help with things that we don't know. Maybe there are some laws, maybe there's lawyers out there, which I believe there are, people that know more than we do.
Absolutely.
And yeah, do your research, but just know they'll tell you what you want to hear. Now, you have to be aware that they're going to be editing, and they might try to paint you in a way that is not true or whatever. For me, I didn't really care much because I know who knows me. They know what kind of person I am. And for me, that's all that matters. I just wish they would have showed a little more about Cage.
Yeah, I agree.
And his story, and just being straightforward with how long he's been incarcerated for.
And that is where we are going to leave it for the season. Come back and join us in September in the season premiere of season 2. We will get to hear the rest of Andrea's story. And let me tell you, the rest of it is good. It is juicy, and it is all of the questions that I wanted to ask her when I first found out that she agreed to interview. They're all coming out in the second part of this interview. So something to look forward to. Yay, season 1 is done. I'm so grateful. AJ is so grateful for everyone that has joined us, everyone who has taken the time to listen to these stories, has joined the community and supported us in any and all ways. This has been the craziest experience, but so good on so many levels. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear season 2 and what we've got planned. There's more, there's different, it's crazy, like so much fun is about to happen in September. But I also am very much looking forward to the summer. If you follow me on social media, you know that I am starting to work more seriously on getting laws changed and getting more awareness in Nebraska around felony murder law. So I'm going to ask you, if you are in Nebraska, you have a loved one in Nebraska, please join the group that we've created. It's called End Felony Murder Rule in Nebraska. Please join it, support it. We are going to be full throttle trying to bring awareness to what felony murder is. I've contacted a bunch of incarcerated individuals that are severely impacted by felony murder and now serving life sentences for murders that they didn't commit, that the record shows they didn't commit. And it's time that people know. There's a lot of states that have changed it already, and it's time for this one too. So please join me. Please join the group. Please support it. That is what I will be working on this summer, at the same time as preparing for next season of More Than an Inmate's Girlfriend. So please follow us on TikTok at More Than an Inmate's GF or on Instagram at podcast_prisongf. We will be still posting, we will be doing lives, we will be preparing for the next season so that you guys have more to listen to, different stories, different perspectives. It's going to be great. So thank you again for such an awesome season, and I'm so, so grateful for everything that this has led me down. Starting this was one of the best decisions I've ever made. One of the hardest couple months in a lot of ways, but definitely worth it. And cannot wait to continue on this journey with you guys. So thank you again for joining me, and we will see you in a couple months. Take care. Bye.